Good evening, everybody. It is Tuesday, March 10th, 2026. It is 6:30, and at this time, I will call our city council meeting to order. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance, and then invocation will be given by the first person who volunteers up here. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. One, two, three, not it. You know what? I'm always willing to give a prayer. Reverence in whatever way you feel most comfortable. Lord, I come before you right now and ask that you focus our minds here tonight on this city council meeting, that we complete and take care of all the business necessary for us to lead this city forward. Lord, we thank you for your grace and mercy and all the things that you have done and will do and have done. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Madam Clerk, if you will proceed with a roll call, please.
Mayor Mahoney,
Present.
Vice Mayor Dancy,
Present.
Councilmember Robinson,
Present.
Councilmember Gunn,
Present.
Councilmember Wood,
Present.
Councilmember Hunt, Councilmember Forgrave.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next, I'll be looking for a motion and support to adopt the agenda.
I move.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. And in lieu of giving some time, if Madam Clerk will proceed with a roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Robinson,
Yes.
Councilmember Gunn,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Dancy,
Yes.
Councilmember Wood,
Yes.
Councilmember Forgrave,
Yes.
Mayor Mahoney.
Yes. All right. That brings us down to item number 5, presentations and proclamations. And we have a presentation from our Planning Commission's annual report. Come on down, John.
Thank you, Mayor Mahoney, council persons. Just wanted to give an update of our annual report for 2025. We did meet all the requirements for the meetings. We had 5 meetings over the course of the year. We did review the city's master plan, and it was determined on October 1st that we would put out a bid proposal for a new master plan, in which we're working through that process now. There were text amendments for lot size, lot width, and setback requirements for the side yard that were adjusted. And we did have map amendments at Griswold Street location and 905 South Martin Luther King. We did have 4 development reviews, 3 of which were approved. 1 was denied for a conditional use permit for a home-based business. We had no shared meetings for 2025, and we do have a plan in place for trainings in 2026, multiple trainings that we're working through right now.
Council, what questions do we have? Okay. Seeing or hearing no questions. John, thank you for this splendid report.
Yes, sir. You're welcome.
And thank you for your leadership in leading our planning commission. Do we need to adopt this, place it on the record or anything like that?
I think you just get to see it. That's it.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. That brings us down to item number 6. There's been a slight change, so there won't be a necessity for us to actually convene as a board of review, but I will take a motion to open the public hearing of confirmation for special assessment roll number 3454. It's been moved and supported. Any discussion? Seeing or hearing none, the clerk will tally and display the vote. Okay, Madam Clerk will proceed with a, just a voice vote would be okay? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same? Okay, public hearing is now open. I know Madam Clerk has a couple things that were mailed into us via email.
Okay, Robert Luton of 721 Bloomfield Boulevard just sent in an email in support of the project. Jennifer French of 732 Bloomfield Boulevard sent in an email in support of the project. And Dan Casile of 771 Bloomfield Boulevard sent in some requests for additional information. It's my understanding that he did get that from staff already.
Okay,
Dan was the petitioner, just to let everybody know.
I don't have any other
Did you want to speak, sir?
slips.
Okay, come on up.
Come on up, sir. If you can just give us your first and last name, and then when you get done, just for the records, if you can grab one of the green slips by the door. You don't have to do that now, sir. You can go ahead and make your comment, questions, or whatever, and then just afterwards, if you'll please complete one of those for us.
Okay, my name is Timothy Powers. I'm at 709 Bloomfield Boulevard. I'm in support of it. Has been paved in a long time. So we would appreciate that it be done expeditiously. Thank you.
Thank you. Are you speaking on this issue as well? Okay, come on up, sir. You can just hand that to anyone up here.
My name's Terry Daly, 745 Bloomfield Boulevard. My family, or my wife's family, I should say, has a long history on Bloomfield Boulevard. Her grandparents built the house that we currently reside in. It's always been a family home. I want to thank the city for the work that they've done on the capping of it, the removal of tree stumps. Thank you, Will. Our driveway got replaced as part of that work. Appreciate that, because the tree had just destroyed it. I'm in favor of this project because I don't know how long the structure under the cap that was laid is really going to last. I understand the project may have changed to include the area between the boulevards. Appreciate that. But at the same time, the city's been working on water line replacement in the neighborhood, and I don't think that's quite done. I'm really hoping that that gets finished up before you guys go ahead and repave a road only to have it dug up, oh, with my luck, 20 minutes later. So hopefully that can be the case. So I'm in support of it, so good work. Thank you.
Thank you. Council, any questions, comments, concerns? Okay, seeing or hearing none, I'd be looking for a motion to close the public hearing. It's been moved and supported. Any comments, questions, or concerns on the motion? Seeing or hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same. Right, that brings us down to item number 7, citizen comment portion of the meeting. And I will start, how we always do, with reading the rules for speaking before the city council during the citizen comment portion of the meeting. Number 1, each speaker will state their name and address prior to addressing council. Number 2, each speaker is limited to up to 3 minutes during the citizen comment portion of the meeting. Council members will not debate or answer questions at this time. Number 3, each speaker should be polite and courteous to the council and members of the public in attendance. While any speaker is free to express his or her opinion on any subject, no speaker may direct personal attacks at any member of the staff or council unrelated to the manner in which they perform their duties, use obscene language while addressing the city council, or engage in disruptive or disorderly behavior during a city council meeting. Number 4, should any speaker cause a breach of the peace through their conduct, the mayor may declare the speaker out of order. Number 5, if a speaker is declared out of order by the mayor and refuses to cease and desist from disruptive or disorderly conduct, the mayor may order the person removed from the meeting. Number 6, each speaker may speak once under public comment and may not yield their time to others. Christy Davis.
Christy Davis, 612 4th Street. I have a couple questions. I know you can't answer anything, just something to think about. For a couple of people being put on boards tonight, I'm just curious. I've looked on the website several times for boards and commissions myself and for other people. Just wondering if there's a list of ones that you have to be a city resident. One of the boards, the first 2 applicants, they're not city residents. They are county, which is great, but they're not city, and one of them's only lived in Jackson just for a couple months. So just curious on that one. Next, let's see, 10I, about the unions. While I'm certainly not opposed to assistance for the police or for fire or anybody that the pension stuff is adjusted for, my only concern is transparency, and maybe Mr. Haggerty can address this for our two people that do have a little bit of connection to some unions, Mayor and Connor. I know it's not necessarily a massive, like, direct, direct
Or maybe
thing.
not at all.
Okay, I couldn't think of the right word, but yeah. But just for transparency's sake, I just thought it would be nice if that was addressed, although I do know you guys don't get any kickback or compensation from the unions. Last is my question about 10H, the money that is coming from the state of Michigan. Under issue statement and describe consequences, both JHC, which I'm super excited, they're going to get their elevator fixed finally, and 100 Homes, those both have lengthy things under the issue statement and describe the consequences, but there's nothing under RIA. And I did read that there are no changes, but I still thought it would be nice to see something for that, especially since they're getting the money for homelessness and operations. They weren't even open this past winter, and it was very cold, as are most winters in Michigan. But they weren't even open this year. I know that there's some certificate of occupancy, the stuff that does have to be taken care of. I don't know where they're at on that. Like other people, I've heard different rumors about the building's usage currently. But I don't know if we can reallocate that money, but it seems like that might be at least something to think about, since they weren't even open this past year. That's all. Just following up on stuff from when I was on council. So hope you guys are having a great night. Thank you very much.
David Cover.
Hello and good evening. I'm a fourth generation furniture upholsterer. I own Dovetail Furniture Upholstery. I'm on the corner of West High Street and West Avenue. I started my business in '07, January 1st of '07. I'm pretty sure that it was '08 I came here and I asked the city council, if they'd be interested in having furniture upholstering done. And at that time, you guys had decided that no was the answer. So I'm just coming back to see if you guys might not have some furniture you might need to have it reupholstered, and if you do, would you consider me? That's all. I sell fabrics, I sell foam. I took an apprenticeship under President Nixon's upholsterer, America's foremost specialist of fine federal furniture's upholsterer. I've done work for the Boston Museum of Art. So I'm not a craftsman, I'm an artist. I spent my whole life learning the variety of furniture and fabrics. And believe me, there's quite a few. Anyhow, if you guys have any need at all, I would hope that you would consider having me do your furniture for you. Thank you and have a good night, guys. I gave it to, yeah.
Yes, sir.
I have a website also. It's dovetailupholstery.com. Okay?
Thank you.
All right, have a good night. Thank you.
James Minnick Jr.
Good evening, Council. James Minnick Jr. I have some parcels in the city, but I'm speaking tonight as a precinct delegate from Columbia Township. With elections coming up, I don't think everybody knows one of the lowliest positions on the ballot is called a precinct delegate. And it gives you a lot of power and a lot of due process in which certain things can't be taken away from you. The reason I'm even talking about this tonight is because I'm seeing a huge fear in our youth. When I talk to kids that are coming of voting age and or up until their early 40s right now, people are afraid of a lot of things going on, whether it's existential, financial, and I'm going to briefly talk about this girl that I seen 4 days ago in Austin Blair Park. I spent a lot of time in the Fifth Ward, and kind of like Commissioner Willis, I make everybody's business my business, and I like to go up and just talk to people. And there was these two people crossing the park, and I just walked up to them and started, rapping with them and asked them how they want things done, just making small talk. It usually takes a couple of sentences before I turn things around and I say to somebody, especially if they're young, hey, what would you like to see in 5 years? What do you want to see in 10 years? What do you think's going on? 4 days ago when I seen this girl, she blew my mind. She couldn't have been, and it's hard to tell age anymore, but she talked to me straight like an adult. And when I was telling her about the great things that I've got planned and I think Jackson is primed for, and Michigan itself and some other things, she looked me dead in the eye and she said, didn't you hear World War III is starting and none of that is going to matter? And she was dead freaking serious. I chased her and I started following her. And again, I'm kind of a talker, and I sold her on the idea that don't get lost in this right now. There is hope. There is hope for Michigan, there is hope for Jackson, and there's hope for this country. Now, I've already went over my time and what I wanted to talk about being a precinct delegate, but we and me, I'm the volunteer coordinator for Miss Shalonda Hunt in her Fifth Ward, and I spent a lot of time trying to work that ward. And I would like to have a precinct delegate training. And this isn't for one party. You can join any party you want, but this is going to be for the youth and teach them how to participate in government. Because in 10 or 15 years, what we need to do is, instead of saying we hate policy, we hate the law, we hate the rules in which we're governed under, we need to get engaged and get involved. And we need to start changing these policies and roll back these restrictions and start participating in our government. And I'm going to kind of reach out to the youth, and I want them to do that, becoming a precinct delegate. Thank you.
John C. King.
John King, 203 3rd Street here in the city. quick on the need to add time back. First, traffic control order 2429, which is the West Washington and 4th Street. Something needs to be given the stop sign. As I wrote to you a few hours ago, stop signs shouldn't be put up just to be put up, nor appease the neighbor that wants to slow traffic. Take it out of the consent calendar and vote it down. Alleged statistics were used during the State of the City address to portray politically and personally beneficial portrayal of the crime in the city. When the bullets to body stat was used to brag about an alleged decline, we all know if the South Side shootings just beyond the city line were included, there would be an increase. Sometimes crime statistics rely on the compiler. That all doesn't take into consideration the bad start to the year with a couple of deaths, including the one in which the shooter was a 13-year-old. Sadly, also during the State of the City address, the city's youth council chair praised anti-American behavior. When Derek Dobies first had the youth council on the agenda, it mentioned to Jeremy Alexander to vote against it. He asked why. That statement is, well, that's where you go. Skipping classes to protest America while Jay High is a low-ranking school and now in a now low-ranking state when it comes to academics. On the national level, we had the Democrats wearing the lapel pins of the American flag and Ukrainian flags during the State of the Union address, refusing to acknowledge the Ukrainian mother whose daughter was murdered on public transportation. They and other Democrats far and wide have the nerve during the recent spike in oil to suggest they want oil to be more plentiful and cheaper after all their efforts to close pipelines and other methods to raise the prices on fossil fuels, to force Americans to have to go to Chinese-made batteries, windmills, and solar panels. Then there's the Residents in Action money that is a major reason why there's inflation, and the Federal Reserve is having trouble getting inflation back to 2.0. Ryan Tarrant made a crack on Fox 47 about parking rates going down, which was from his proposed rates. It, just really irked me. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. King. We did give you that extra time, just so you know.
Okay.
Just wanted to make sure that was noted. Nicholas Thurston.
Good evening. My name is Nicholas Thurston. I live in Jackson, Michigan, 410 Van Buren Street, Apartment B, Ward 5. I also saw that there was an agenda item. If somebody could please describe what the funding is actually for, if this is, because it says 2024 budget. Is this reimbursements for things that have already been spent for these organizations, or what? Because we all know that RIA is not a housing business. They're a DEI company. They bill themselves as racial equity, and that's what they focus on, is promoting their own skin color in everybody else's businesses. I think they're ineligible for government funding, and they're not welcome in Ward 5 or the rest of our city. I also wanted to bring up something else. There's the Black Lives Matter mural on, I think it's Washington Street. I would like for it to be removed. Several of the other Black Lives Matter murals around the country have been removed, and some of the other things that were politically oriented. The whole goal is to have neutrality in our public resources, and these things send the wrong message. Jackson is a white city. Jackson County is a white county. Michigan's a white state, and the USA is a white country. And we benefit from that in a lot of ways. We have electricity 24 hours a day. Roads, sidewalks, schools, hospitals, churches, charities, libraries, colleges. Some of the most talented people of all walks of life. We're the melting pot. And that company has intentionally promoted racial division and crime throughout our country, costing billions of dollars in damage. And some people died in the riots and protests. They haven't offered any positive solutions to any cultural issues that affect the black community. And they took about $90 million and went on luxury shopping sprees and vacations around the world. No black communities have been improved. And the company itself was started by black lesbians who hate men, who do fundraisers every time black men are killed, and the mainstream media covers those stories. And so really they're a gay business, not a race organization. And it shows in the way that they spend the money and they spend their time. They're anti-American, they hate our country. And I think we have a beautiful home together, and it's worth taking care of. Something else, you know, the news is fake. Most of the news is fake. I wouldn't watch TV and worry about all the stuff that people are talking about. We're not in World War III. Iran has been saying death to America for like 47 years straight, and it's about time something happened. So, you know, the United States is not a good time right now to play games. All right, thanks for your time.
Okay, Council. If you will refresh your screens, please, to ensure that your voting apparatuses are working properly. That will conclude our citizen comment portion of the meeting and brings us down to our consent calendar, and I'll be looking for a motion and support on the consent calendar.
So move.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any comments, questions, concerns? Seeing or hearing none, the clerk will tally and display the vote. And consent calendar passes unanimously. That brings us down to other business, which we have none, which brings us to new business. And under item A, I'm looking for a motion and support to approve the award of the Utilities Improvement Project contract to Dunnigan Brothers Incorporated of Jackson, Michigan at a cost of $4,299,282.
So move.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any comments, questions, concerns? Seeing or hearing none, clerk will tally and display the vote. Item passes. That brings us down to item B. Looking for a motion and support to approve the award of the East Ganson Street Water Service Replacements Contract to Super Construction LLC of Bay City, Michigan at a cost of $369,000 and authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute the appropriate documents.
So move.
It's been moved and supported. Any discussion? Seeing or hearing none, clerk will tally and display the vote. Item passes unanimously, brings us down to item C. Looking for a motion and support to approve the contract with Fishbeck to provide design and construction administration services for the wastewater treatment plant, anaerobic digester improvement project in the amount of $360,000.
So move.
It's been moved and supported. Any discussion? Seeing or hearing none, clerk will tally and display the vote. Item passes. Brings us down to item D. Looking for a motion of support to approve the construction management contract with Fishback for the digester project in an amount not to exceed 4% of the total approved bid price. Authorize the Director of Public Works to execute the same on behalf of the city, and authorize the city manager and/or city attorney to make minor modifications as needed.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing or hearing none, clerk will tally and display the vote.
Would you increase your size?
Item passes. Brings us down to item E. Looking for a motion and support to approve the award for the Morrell Street engineering contract to Hubble, Roth, and Clark Incorporated of Jackson, Michigan, in the amount of $442,488.50, and authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute the appropriate documents in accordance with the purchasing agent.
Support.
Been moved and supported. Any discussion? Seeing or hearing none, clerk will tally and display the vote. Sorry. I need a medic now. Item passes. Brings us down to item F. Looking for a motion and support to approve a resolution to establish a fee schedule for right-of-way permits issued by the engineering department.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any discussion? Seeing or hearing none, clerk will tally and display the vote. Item passes. Brings us down to item G. Looking for a motion and support to approve the 2026 Park Cemeteries Downtown and Trails Mowing and Irrigation Contract in the amount of $285,987.27 to Picture Perfect Lawn Care LLC of Concord.
So moved.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any discussion? Seeing or hearing none, clerk will tally and display the vote. Item passes 5-1. Brings us down to item H. Looking for a motion and support to approve budget and programming changes to the City of Jackson's Jackson Housing 24 State of Michigan allocation grant. Authorize staff to administer grant funds in accordance with the approved budget amendment and scope of work changes, and authorize the city manager to execute any and all documents related to these changes.
So moved.
Support.
Moved and supported.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, it pains me so bad, so much. I really hate doing this, but could you please have someone come up and talk?
I think somebody wants to come up
I
and
don't
talk.
think anyone except him, anybody except him.
It's too late. You're already on the
No,
way.
anyone except him.
He's the
Come on.
best person to talk about it.
I don't,
Beth,
take your time.
Beth,
Take your time. Take your time.
Thank you, Councilman Danzy. Good evening.
Good evening.
Were there specific questions, or did you just want me to provide a synopsis?
yes.
Happy to do it. Happy to do it. So I'll start by just saying I'm not exactly positive that council needs to approve this agenda item, only because this is related to a state allocation grant direct from the legislature. But I have it in front of you because I'm a big fan of transparency. And because we're discussing kind of a change in scope, I thought it was appropriate that both of you looked at it and had a chance to discuss it, and that the public heard your comments. So that's why it's on your agenda. I think that transparency is really important. This state allocation grant is direct from the legislature, thanks to Senator Sue Shink. City received it back in 2024. It's a three-part grant with three recipients: the Housing Commission, Residents in Action, and the City of Jackson. Each of those entities receives $300,000 as part of this grant, and then the city receives an additional $100,000 in administrative fees, so that's a $1 million grant. The proposal that you have tonight is for two different budget amendments, one for the city's portion and one for the Housing Commission's portion. I heard mentioned during public comment, I think it's worth noting, there isn't a mention of Residents in Action in that agenda item because their budget portion and scope of work is not changing. That's not part of the proposal. So that's why there is not a mention of Residents in Action in that language this evening, just to be transparent. Because this is direct allocation grant, those monies just come from the legislature, they come from the senator, and then we're bound by those rules that are put forth by the Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity up at the state. The two changes that are proposed for you, we'll start with the Housing Commission's change. Their budget included some repair work for an elevator, but they would like to put more money in their budget into a complete elevator overhaul. That's why that change is in there. The Housing Commission has an elevator that is in great need. So that is the only change in the Housing Commission's budget and scope. The change that you're discussing from the city's portion is related to down payment assistance. Staff is requesting that we layer down payment assistance from this program with the down payment assistance that's already provided under the ARPA funds for the 100 Homes program, providing quite a great benefit to those who would be moving forward in that program, and I think really helping with what we've already identified and discussed at length, being the growing gap in affordability in the 100 homes and any kind of new construction homes. So that's kind of as quick a synopsis as I can provide.
I have two questions. Well, one question, maybe one question and a follow-up. How many homes do we have left in the 100 homes?
We have 48 left to go.
48 left to go. Is there anything else besides this change to the program guidelines that we are putting in motion to help sell these last 48 homes that doesn't actually need council approval, but we'll say it tonight? Well, it will need council approval at a later date, but tonight we can announce it.
I appreciate the chance. I'm going to actually provide a few answers to that this evening. So staff is committed, and I can't say that strongly enough, that we are committed to getting to the finish line on 100 homes. 70 homes, 80 homes, heck, even the first 10 was an incredible victory for the city of Jackson, and that is to be celebrated. But I will not be happy unless we hit 100. I just won't. And neither will any of the other staff in the community development department. We are adamant on that goal. You laid that out for us. You supported our mission 2.5 years ago, and it is incredibly important that we reach that finish line. A failure is really not an option, not from where I sit anyway. So we are investigating as many possible flexibilities, options, ways to encourage participation as possible. Advertising, billboards, signage, extended deadlines, working on our ARPA timelines to see if there's any flexibilities in closing dates, working with our builder on spec homes. As you'll know, Norfolk now has 5 spec homes under construction with at least 5 to 10 more planned almost immediately. Any and every option we have to build and get buyers in the program and approved, we are doing. It is all hands on deck. This motion in front of you represents yet another option, which is we recognize that the bulk of the 100 homes buyers so far have been kind of in that 100 to 110% AMI. That's almost at the top of the range, which is fantastic, right? The program is designed to serve those up to 120% AMI. But that also means that we're not maybe serving everybody else. And so layering more down payment assistance will open this up to those folks that are earning a little bit less, but still hardworking families that just need a little bit more of a leg up. So this is really going to help, especially when the community has said over the last couple of years, is the 100 Homes program for everyone? Well, we can't design it for everyone, right? But this will allow us to even broaden that pool and make these homes even more affordable for those folks that we're really trying to help. And that's a win. Some really wise person last week said to me, and it was actually Councilwoman Gunn at an affordable housing no morning. She said, we should be so proud of the work that we're doing. It's not a negative that we're looking to layer more DPA funds. It's actually a positive because we get to help more people in a different way. Our building inspector, Brian Taylor, said to me a couple weeks ago, he said, Corey, you know that even if you don't get to 100, it's not a fail. Think about all the amazing work that the city has done and our department has done and city council has done. This is to be celebrated. And I really appreciate those positive comments. It doesn't take away our goal, but I think that those positives are worth noting. Another piece to the puzzle that we're considering, and I'll freely say this was a decision that we made a couple of years back that may have ruffled some feathers in our community, and we recognize that as a staff. But I think that while this program never set out to exclude our local real estate professionals, we nowhere in the program guidelines does it say that realtors aren't allowed to participate. In fact, we welcome them if a buyer wants to utilize their services. The problem is that we just didn't have money to pay for them, and we recognize that those realtor services come with a cost, and those folks are hardworking folks trying to earn a living too. We just didn't have a way to pay them. And so at the time when we kind of built the program, some of our real estate professionals were, I think, fairly a little irked. And I recognize it, I respect that. And so I'm excited now because Mr. Laporte and I and Mr. Green have been discussing some options on how we may be able to bring realtors to the table now and use their help in getting more qualified buyers to the finish line. We're working on a funding model right now and a proposal to pay a flat commission rate to our realtors, not 6 or 7% as industry standard has been over the years, but we think a really fair rate and something that will appropriately compensate their time and hopefully extend an olive branch to that community and say, hey, thanks. We really value what you're doing, and we're sorry maybe we missed you the first time around, but we do want your help, and we appreciate the partnership. So I don't have that ready for you yet, but it's coming. Teaser. It should be ready in about 2 weeks at your next council meeting. I'm excited to bring that to you, but I didn't want to put it up tonight until it was all the way ready. So those are all the flexibilities we're working on as a staff. Again, failure for us is not an option, and so we want to make sure that we are doing everything we can to get over the finish line.
Corey, back to item H, just generally, I guess, to put a finer point on it, I want to make sure I'm following. Essentially, what we have in front of us is a budget amendment that highlights $700,000 of $1 million state grant.
That's correct.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
I've got just one question on one of the changes that you just mentioned. With adding some additional funding for down payment assistance, does that bring some of those individuals who may be in the pipeline currently into the scope of being able to get approved?
Hundreds.
Perfect. Thank you.
We have 1,800 pending applications, and this is going to open up wide for folks that have really been on that line. They've got a good credit score. They're right there, but $25,000 wasn't quite enough. This is going to provide that lifeline that we've been looking for and that they've been looking for.
Okay. Council, do you guys have any other questions? Again, great work to the Housing Commission. Thank you, Corey.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Corey.
We have a motion and support on the floor. Seeing or hearing no other questions, the clerk will tally and display the vote. Item passes, brings us down to item I, looking for a motion and support to approve the letter of agreement modifying pension benefits for members hired after July 1, 2012 who participate in the city's Act 345 retirement system.
So moved.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any comments, questions, concerns?
Mr. Haggerty, if myself, no members of my family, my employer, if none of those people in any way benefit financially, do I have a conflict of interest?
No.
Thank you.
The same holds true for the mayor.
I was gonna ask anyway, just to be safe and clear.
Thank you.
Any other questions, council? Seeing or hearing none, the clerk will tally and display the vote. Item passes unanimous, and that brings us down to item number 11. Council member comments. Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I appreciate each and every one who stepped up, their comments. That's all I have. Good night. Go green.
Councilmember Gunn.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to thank the council for voting positive yes on the changes to the housing contracts so that we can push people over the edge, get more people in homes, and hopefully meet our goal before the end of this fiscal year.
All right. Councilmember Robinson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight and for your comments. Thank the council and staff for all that you do. But I do want to just comment on the specifically on the 100 Homes program. It's a plus in my mindset because we can bring some more people into that loop, making it affordable for them to be able to get a new home. So I'm appreciative of what you've done in community development, Corey. Thank you.
Councilmember Forgray.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. So I don't necessarily want public comment to turn into, a late night advertisement situation, but I also do want to say that it was kind of serendipitous. We own a dog. We also have a couple old chairs that are nicely upholstered. They used to be nicely upholstered, so that was nice that happened tonight. That was really nice. Also, I didn't grow up here. I don't know him personally, but it was hard to miss the last couple days. I want to say congratulations to Nathan Martin on winning the LA Marathon. That was really cool. If anybody's seen that video, you should look it up. And that's all I have. Thanks.
All right. Councilmember Wood.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, staff. Thank you, members of the public. Thank you, members of the press and the 100 Homes team. Glad we were able to get our police officers, as we did with our firefighters earlier, to a better and more sustainable retirement plan. I will also say that repeatedly implying the existence of a conflict of interest does not mean that there is a conflict of interest, and transparency is incredibly important. It is personally disappointing to me to have sat next to somebody for a year, repeatedly explained how that works, and then have the same accusation thrown up at us. So I thought that was disappointing, but I do think the transparency is important, and I appreciate Matthew for providing some clarity to the community that there is no conflict of interest when there's no conflict of interest. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wood. I'm very glad somebody brought up the Black Lives Matter artwork displayed on Washington Ave, because Mr. City Manager, there's another art piece that has faded over time that I would love to see repainted, that is over on High Street, which was done by the community, and I know the individuals to reach out to make sure that we make that happen. But I also wanted to provide just a brief explanation. of Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is actually three things. Yes, it is an organization. I'm not sure if they are for-profit, non-profit. I don't know because I don't belong to the organization Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter, in addition, the words, I mean, because they are words, is in addition a movement, a group of individuals in this country who were motivated to gather in protest to black people's lives being taken. And then there's the last thing. It's literally a statement. It's not a movement of people. It is literally a statement. I think the artwork that we see displayed behind our sheriff's office as well as on High Street are displayed as a statement that Black Lives Matter, because they do. Shouldn't have to be said, but I'm okay with saying it. Man, today was a very roller coaster day. I want to send a huge shout out to the Lieutenant Governor who came to Jackson and the Jackson School Board members, specifically School Board Trustee Derek Dobies, who made some phone calls to make sure that that the Lieutenant Governor made time in his schedule to come and read to the children. There's a ton of different things that I could have called and asked him to be present in Jackson for, but to me, pouring into our youth, being present with them and for them is of the utmost importance, and in a lot of ways, probably more important than me asking him for resources for our city, because I feel like they know we need resources in our city. And we have plenty other staff people who will call and make that call for when we need things from the state, from the governor, from the lieutenant governor, and everyone else at that ranking. So it was a special moment, not only for the students, but for a very long time dedicated educator. She's no longer a teacher, but she is still devoted and dedicated to educating our youth, specifically around reading. And she has been asking me, Madam Clerk, since September to make sure that we got someone from the governor's office. And so it was an honor to be able to follow through on that promise to Miss Kathy Davis that we would get the Lieutenant Governor over to make sure that he read some books. And she was elated, and she's already working on next year. On the list of people to ask is LeVar Burton, yes, from Reading Rainbow, or Michelle Obama. She got a tall list, so we got to get to work on that for next year, Trustee. That's on the list, okay? I told her we would make it happen. But in the same breath, like I left before everything was even over because I had to go to a funeral today. And, you know, I had a proclamation written for Kara Braxton, and, you know, I connected with her family, but I understand even more deeply now that, like, when somebody passes, you have to be gentle. You can't be, it's like you have to show up in the way that they want you to show up, in the way that they need you to show up. And so the discussion I had with the family was writing this resolution and bringing it and presenting it. They had 2 services for her. This is a 10 season WNBA player who was raised here in Jackson, that died tragically in a car accident. And so we presented a resolution, and in that resolution recognized February 18th as Kara Brown Braxton Day. But I didn't get to present it today because they had a very, very strict program for the funeral. And, you know, part of me was very happy with that because this is an individual I went to school with. When we were in, I think, just after she graduated, or prior to her graduating, her and her twin sister, I don't know if they were Allstate or what they were. I just know they was in a magazine. And everyone knew that they were getting ready to take off. Like, everybody just knew it. And the way that made me feel to be able to just reflect on that moment of opening that magazine and seeing them, and then see them live those dreams out and represent Jackson everywhere they went, and then also make sure that they made time to pour back into this community just means so much. And so it's an honor to be able to have honored her life in celebration just as a member of the community and not have to worry about what to say when I got up there. And just to echo also Mr. Foregraves on the accomplishment of Nathan Martin winning the LA Marathon and planning to honor him next as well. So Jackson has some great individuals. Sad to have to mention, but in case anybody missed it, they are both black. Jackson is not a white city. You can't say a statement like Jackson is a white city and then follow it with Jackson is a melting pot, because they're contradictory. It sounds stupid to even say something like that. And so I will keep pointing it out because I don't want to have to do it, but I don't mind doing it. That concludes my comments.
Nothing for me tonight. Let's go home.
Thank you. So moved by. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I voted for all this traffic.
Who won?
I also drive a car.